Happy Homebrew Wednesday. So, there is no brew day footage today. However, you will see, I think, the last of my kickstand Nate that I poured from the keg right before I cleaned that nasty kegerator. I apologize for showing. Hey, so I don't know if this will make it into my Homebrew Wednesday this week, but I'm doing some keg maintenance and cleaning out the keg. And, you know, we went to Treg's Brewery in Pennsylvania, in Hershey, and my wife got a keg of Mad Elf. I'm sorry, a case of Mad Elf. This stuff is, if you can read that, 12 or 11% alcohol. She came out with a whole box of it because it was a seasonal. I was like, what the heck are you doing? Oh, I thought you'd like it. So the Mad Elf set for a while, but what I wanted to show you was, this is my last glass of kickstand Nate, and it really got clear. I don't know if you can see this. You can see my finger back there. Look at that. Look how clear that is. Anyway, it's beautiful. A little too early, probably. You see a little floaty floating around in there. I don't know if you can see it. A little too early to be drinking beer, but what the hell. Cheers. Okay, so since I had talked about doing the keg maintenance, and you saw how nasty my keg was, I was only compelled to show you what it looked like after I cleaned this thing up. So, as you can see, it is nice and clean now. All that nasty gunk that was on the bottom has been cleaned out. I cleaned the lines. I got a brand new keg of my Belgian Ale sitting here with 30 psi on it. The keg is immaculate. The Belgian Pale right here came out at about 8.1%. I checked it on Halloween and it measured at about 1014. I think it says 1013 up here, but when you do the temperature conversion, it was 1014. Started out at 1075, so Beersmith says it's at 8.1. I'm trying to get some friends over to my house this weekend support the National Learn to Homebrew Day. That's this Saturday on the 7th of November. And surprisingly, I'm having a hard time finding folks. It seems like nobody wants to make it, so which boggles me because making beer is much more fun. I don't know. I guess it's about 50-50, you know, making beer, drinking beer. I think I probably enjoy making it better. So anyway, we'll see if I can get somebody over here for the 7th to help me brew some beer. Hope I do. So anyway, one thing I want to talk about. Have you had this beer yet? Resin from 6 Point Brewery out of... they're Brooklyn. Yeah, they're in Brooklyn. That's right. Barry, I sent you a text about this, wanting to know if you had had some of these guys. This beer is really, really good. This is a double IPA. I think it comes in about 9.1 ABV, 103 IBUs. You would never know it. I mean, because it's got that sticky hop, oily kind of flavor and aroma to it. This thing is like on steroids. I would never know that it was actually I would know that it was 103 IBUs, but they balance it so well with the malt. It's so sweet, kind of balanced with the oils of the hop. I mean, it's really, really, really good. So one of my new favorite IPAs, Resin. But there's a beer called High Res, which I don't know, what is that, like a triple IPA? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's kind of like Dogfish Head, 120 minute. I don't know. But I'm going to have to try it now because I know that it's out there. So I'm also on a quest to get some heady topper. I have a new friend that I met during the Homebrew Wednesday homecoming trip out in Philadelphia, Josh, and we were talking about exchanging some beers. I'm going to try to see if I can get that and do an exchange with him. Even if I don't get the heady topper, I'll still send him some of my beers, and hopefully he will reciprocate. So anyway, yeah, so the basement brewery that I'm doing, I have right now on the other side of this wall, I have a bathroom that we built But on the other side of that, I have a nice rectangular room. It's going to have kind of a, well, on one half is going to be, I want it to be an English pub theme. So I don't know if you can see these floors, but we have these polished concrete floors. I don't know if this is showing up very well. We have these polished concrete floors, and I'll just go ahead and take you to the room over here. I don't know if it's getting kind of dark in here. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, it's kind of dark. But you can see this room is not quite finished. It's a nice rectangular room. That telephone booth, I think, is going to play a prominent role. We've got a fireplace that we got to hook up. And over here, on this side where that refrigerator sits, we're going to have a bar juxtaposing, is that a word, coming out of the wall there. So anyway, so that's the plans for the man cave. Sorry to take you on a tour through the house. That's the plans for the man cave. So the problem is, you know, draft dispense system. I'd like to have 4 taps, but the only way I can seem to get 4 taps is to either 1, do a Keyser, or 2, buy a commercial grade built-in counter kegerator. One's about $3,500. That's kind of expensive. The other one I think is around $1,200 to $1,500 if I do the Keyser option. My wife is not a big fan of that idea because she wants it to look nice. I think you can make it look nice. I just don't know if any of you guys have ever built a Keyser into a bar. So it would be a bar that's kind of sticking out in the middle of the room. So I would need to think through where the keg placement, or where the CO2 tank goes and all that. So my Belgian ale has finished fermenting. It is roughly 8.1%. And I got a good suggestion for a name from Canadian Sasquatch. So if this ale turns out golden, it might be a little dark, then I will go with the name that he gave me. If not, then we'll have to come up with something else. So I've already put a bit of CO2 here in this keg. So I'm going to put my sanitized tube down in here. Try not to knock the plastic in. I've done that before. Alright. Alright, looks like I got a good flow going. And I don't know if you can see the color. Can you see the color? Looks pretty clear. Looks pretty clear going in. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Maybe up here in the light on the tube?
Yeah.
So it looks pretty good. So can you look up inside the bucket?
This one?
No, inside the bucket.
Which bucket?
The bucket, the fermenting bucket.
Can't.
Okay, never mind. Kind of. Actually, here, let me see it. Let me hand it to me.
Okay.
See if we can do this without screwing up the video. So there's what it looks like there. I cold crashed it for about 4 days, actually 3 days, at about just over freezing, probably around 37 degrees. So nice and cold. So I'll carve this up. But yeah, so my original gravity was 1075. And that was on October 24th. My final gravity was 1014. That was on Halloween. So doing the math, it's about 8.1%. You know, tasted it after I measured the gravity, and it tasted really, really good. So probably going to be strong. So maybe I should get some sniffers for anyone that's going to try this, but should be fun. So anyway, thank you to my assistant videographer here. I know I had to drag her away from the computer to film this, so I appreciate her efforts. Thank you, sweetie. All right, I'm anxious to see how this Belgian ale turns out. It's carboning right now. I'll let it carb for the next couple of days, and then see how it comes out. I love when I try a new beer because I don't know what to expect, and I'm always kind of in a rush to try it when I really should just wait and let it kind of sit and simmer. So I think what I'm going to do, I just kegged it today. This is the, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 10th day of when I pitched the yeast, and so I fermented, got complete fermentation in 7 days. I put it in the refrigerator, and I cold crashed it for about 4 days, and so now I just kegged it. And I put 30 pounds of PSI on it, so I'm gonna let it sit, and I'm not even gonna taste it until Friday evening. Because my mistake is I always try to taste it the first day, and I'm always like, oh, it's not good, it's oxidized, it tastes funny, or whatever. And then I let it sit for a few days, and wow, this tastes good. Same thing happened with Kickstand Nate. Actually, I made some. I had to make a modification to the recipe for Dropkick Nate, and I was going to take it to Homebrew Wednesday Homecoming, and I sent this emergency panic text to Nate saying, hey, I screwed up your beer. I don't know what I did, but it doesn't taste right. And he said, hey, put it in a bottle and bring some anyway, because we can taste it, and maybe we can tell you what you did wrong. Got up the next morning, tasted it, and I was like, wow, this tastes good. So even overnight, it improved in 24 hours. And I took some bottles down, and they liked it. So anyway, just for homebrewers out there, when you try your first beer, you're in such a rush because you get excited. If you're like me, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty passionate about this. I really love homebrewing, and when I brew a new recipe, it's like all hands on deck. I'm like all focused, and it's really, really hard not to want to rush and tap that thing and pour draw yourself a pint and taste it, but you really should wait. Let it sit for a few days, sit on your hands. It's hard to do, but I think the payoff is big. A couple of shout outs. Steve Molson, man, I apologize. I didn't get to watch a couple of your Homebrew Wednesday videos because life kind of got in the way, but man, you're one of my favorite dudes to watch. You are just, I don't know, salt of the earth, homebrewer. You got a great garden. You're really cool thing about Steve Molson. If you haven't subscribe to his channel, and he did that for me actually, and got me a few more subscribers, a significant amount of subscribers. But he is just, I don't know, just seems like a really nice guy. One day I'd like to meet you and have a beer with you and talk about your brewing. You seem like just like a fun guy to be around. Loved watching your channel. Who else? There's a couple of new guys I subscribe to. Look forward to seeing more stuff from you guys. One was Coop that Steve Molson recommended, and he did a really good video on it was an IPA, I think. I can't remember what kind it was, but it was a good video. So one other comment I would make is Josh Secor. Something about your videos when you make them, and it's interesting, because I always think when I watch your videos, my wife would, if she really got into homebrewing, which she doesn't, by the way. One thing she would appreciate about your videos, Josh Secor, is your sarcastic personality, your sense of humor. She would absolutely love your sarcasm. I'm going to have to get her to watch one of your videos. I saw the review that you did of my beer, and she laughed her butt off. So I know she gets your humor. I love your video. The fact that you called out the Columbus hops on my video. I mean, you on the review you did of my beer. You called it. You absolutely knew what it was. And the fact that you called out the color of the caramel malt that I use, because I'm gonna have to go back and look. I looked in my Beersmith, and it says that I use caramel 10, but you're probably right. I probably use caramel 60 caramel 60. I think I probably used caramel 60 and typed it in my Beersmith, because you saw the color of the beer and right away you said, hey, there's no way you got that dark of a beer from using caramel 10. So you were a very sharp brewer. I watch your videos very closely because technically I think you know what the hell you're doing. And I mean, just one of your recent videos, you did the beer on the yeast cake, and unfortunately I just racked another keg today off my fermenting bucket, and I forgot to have everything in advance to go ahead and try to preserve that inch on top of the yeast cake and keep it. But I'll do that one of these days whenever I get my head out of my ass and plan ahead. But anyway, dude, I love your videos. Keep them coming. I look forward to them, and I kind of get it's a little sad when we go a couple of weeks and you don't have a video. So anyway, I've rambled on enough. I'll go ahead and cut it here. Cheers. Have yourself a happy homebrew, and have a happy Homebrew Wednesday. Dean's List out.